Welcome everyone to Contemporary Issues class. Nice to have you here today, and we are so pleased to welcome Shannon Butler, Rev. Jerry Butler's wife here, and a super fan. You know her. She's been with us before talking about her work with the special needs children. And so glad to have her back today to talk about books. All things about books. We're going to talk about fiction, nonfiction. Shannon's going to share her favorites lately, and she's a super fan who does reviews online too. And so I wanted to get her input and yours too. We want to hear what you're reading. And so before we do that, our Zoom folks, welcome, and please mute yourself in the lower left corner of your screen. And we are recording this for future playback. And we're going to take 1 or 2 minutes to talk about Iran for a moment. Everything that's going on with that. The latest was there are some American casualties and fatalities this morning. And as well as Israeli also, wasn't there an Israeli apartment building hit and fatalities there too? So it's a hot war going back and forth. And so much discussion on whether we should have done this or not. New York Times had an editorial yesterday, said absolutely not an emergency. We shouldn't be doing this. And the Wall Street Journal yesterday said this, we don't like war, but this is the time to do this. That Iran has caused and continues to cause so much death and destruction that there are times to intervene, even at the loss of life, and to stop a bad regime that is killing its people. 32,000 protesters killed so far. And so a lot of people, it seems like, are having a harder decision falling on one side or the other in this particular case. I want to see what you thought. What are your thoughts on this?
Congress did not declare war.
Congress did not declare war, but the president has the right to do military action and then get congressional approval within 90 days, according to the Constitution. But that also, Linda, right, has to be an emergency military action with an imminent danger to the American.
Be a whim.
Okay, there are folks on both sides of that. Okay, and Peter wanted to share for a moment about Israel, folks in Israel that you know that have commented.
Sure. Thanks, folks, because we're all interested, of course, in this important series of developments. And as I've shared with you before, I have Orthodox Jewish friends who live in the West Bank, as you'll recall. They live in a little town called Tekoa. It's just a few miles from Bethlehem. And I'm in regular touch with them to see how they're doing and what they're doing and what's happening with settlers and everything else in the West Bank. You'll be interested to know that I just got a message from my friends late yesterday. They were in a bomb shelter. People have bomb shelters in various basements, as it turns out, in some of these smaller towns like Tekoa. They have large bomb shelters too, but some people shelter with their friends in their friends' basements, as my friends were doing. And they said that they estimated about 50 rockets, none that hit near them, but they heard now those could have been, Israeli missiles going one way or Iranian missiles coming the other way. They weren't sure which was what, but they estimated they heard about 50 explosions. And you'll be glad to know they're wishing their friends in Iran the very best.
Difficult situation. Very hard. Okay. Any other thoughts? Anybody want to share anything? Yes, ma'am.
I have a 22-year-old grandson, and I looked to see, and he's available for the draft till he's 25. So this brings it home to me.
You feel like we might reinstate the draft, huh?
I sure hope not.
Okay. Okay.
7.
Yes. Okay, we want to leave plenty of time for, yes, Jane, and then we'll move on.
Yes, I just wanted to mention, those who have been in the class for quite a long time may remember Gary and Elsa Bradley.
Yes.
And that Elsa passed
away.
Of February. And Gary was here this morning, so I talked with him because we've talked back and forth over the years that they've been here. But I didn't know that she had passed away.
Yes, and there won't be any service soon, Gary says. Okay. Okay, let's jump into books. I want to share with you the New York Times bestseller list just briefly before we talk about books, so you know what's popular now. And I want to see if you all have read any of these and what you think, and Shannon's too. With the combined print and ebook, well, I better hit share so our Zoomers can see this too. Let me hit share screen. I've got too many things open on here. It's a challenge sometime. Okay, now I'm in the share screen. Okay, the bestsellers. Combined print and ebook. In fiction, number one is Theo of Golden, about my goodness, we've had a lot of folks here that have read it. I did too. About a fellow who purchases pencil drawings of local residents and exchanges them for stories. Who would have thought about an unusual story like that? Very different, not something real thrilling or a thriller or a mystery. So a little book that went to the top of the bestseller. Did you read that one, Shannon? Okay. What did you think, Judy?
It's great. Yeah, the Monday book group.
Monday book group read that one. Okay. By the way, there is a microphone on the side by Christine there, and you pass it forward, and then by Frank also.
The
So
main thing is character development.
character development. You really like the protagonist and the interesting idea that he had as a way to connect with people. And then there was kind of a twist in the end, wasn't there? He ended up knowing and having an ulterior motive for doing this. So that's always good. Number two is Project Hail Mary. Character awakens from a long sleep alone and far from home, and the fate of humanity rests on his shoulders. What's that one about? Anybody, you read that one?
I did read that.
Okay, tell us about that.
I mean, it's science fiction. It's about he's been sent to space to save the world, and he meets a robot. And it's like a sweet, I don't know, I liked it. It's very science fiction-y, so if that's not your jam. But I thought it was really good. It's gonna be a movie,
Yeah.
so if you're a Ryan Gosling fan, you know, there's that to look forward to. If that is your jam, it's not. But yeah, there you go. But no, I really liked it. I thought it was good.
Okay, very good. Third one is The Hard Line, 15th book in the Gray Man series. He tries to stop hit squads and becomes the target of an assassin known as Whetstone. So one of those assassin type books. Anybody read that one? Okay. Okay, it's a special, did you like it?
No, who's the?
Oh, who's the author? Mark Greeny. Oh, that's a whole nother category, the assassins of the world. There's been a lot of books written about that kind of thing. And here's why I know my wife enjoyed number 4, The Correspondent. Letters from someone who used to know Sybil toward revisiting, Judy's got it here, toward revisiting her past and finding a way to forgive. I didn't read this one yet. Was it all letters?
Yes.
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 What's the idea of the letters?
It's you learn about her life and the people around her through her letters. The letters that she writes to others and then letters that she gets in return. And it's a wide variety of correspondence, like not just family, but like she has a correspondence with like this IT guy at where's the genetic testing place, and she changes his life. And I don't know, I really liked it. It made me I mean, I would never write letter. I didn't live in a letter writing generation, but it makes me kind of long for that
Yeah,
instead of the texts and.
that's true. Not many people write letters anymore, so this would appeal to that longing. Sure. What did you think, Vicki? You want to comment on this one?
Yeah, no, I am a letter writer, and sometimes I can write a letter when I can't say what I want to say, I can write a letter. And whether I send it or not is another story. But it still is an art, you know, yeah, it was very intriguing because it kind of stirred some thoughts about how some people can't apologize, they can't,
Yeah.
they just can't do that kind of thing face to face. They can't reveal a side of themselves face to face. So it's just a way of revealing yourself in a very safe space.
That's what she did.
Okay. How many people here read that? Got a feeling it was pretty popular. Got maybe 20 or so. Yeah, very good. And the last one, number 5 on the list is Dear Debbie, an advice columnist who is having trouble at work and home decides to get back at people she thinks. Funny. Did you read that one?
I haven't read that. I've read that author, but I haven't read that.
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's jump over to the nonfiction side. Number 1 is Stripped Down by Bunny XO. The host of Dumb Blonde Podcast shares how redemption was an important part of her journey toward reaching her goals. Okay. Has anybody read Stripped Down? Okay. Well, that's the thing about nonfiction, isn't it? It can bring in all of these different types of things that a lot of us would never think to do, but they have an audience. These folks who have podcasts or following somehow really can have an audience. Yes, Frank.
A very tangential comment. I don't know if you're aware that there's 2 state senators. Thank you, Steve. There's 2 state senators that are pushing a bill to decriminalize prostitution here in Colorado.
Yes.
I don't know if there's any corollary between these 2, the book and their motions, but we'll see.
Okay, yes, that's another whole story about that. And kind of related to that is number 2 book on nonfiction called Nobody's Girl by one of these girls that was in Jeffrey Epstein's victim. Virginia Guthrie committed suicide, unfortunately, but she was an advocate for sex trafficking survivors. In this book, she described her time with Epstein. So no wonder that one has generated lots of interest. Anybody read that? Colleen?
You really get an insight of what Epstein.
Christine, could you give Colleen the microphone?
I think it's a very timely book for now, and it really gets into Epstein's whole sex trafficking. And the author, Virginia, she grew up in a family where she was molested at 7 years old. And it's a good read, but it's also very powerful, and especially timely.
Mhm. Interesting. Okay. Number 3 is called American Struggle by John Meacham. The Pulitzer Prize winning biographer examines national divisions and debates over the last 4 centuries. So Meacham's written a lot about these current events, and he was just on Firing Line last Friday. It was really a good episode analyzing today's political divisions and comparing it to centuries past. Not the first time we've had divisions in America. That's for sure. Number 4, Manufacturing Delusion. A conservative radio host and former CIA analyst named Buck Sexton argues that mass delusion has begun to take hold in America. I haven't read that. Does anybody know what he's referring to? Mass delusion? On liberal side or conservative side? Maybe he's doing that. Okay. And with AI, maybe too, Steve mentions, yeah. And the last one that I'll mention, number 5, is called Look by Michelle Obama and another lady, Coop, a celebration of the former First Lady's evolution in style. featuring more than 200 photographs.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's about Michelle's look.
Yeah.
Are you into that kind of book, Shannon?
No.
Me neither. Okay, well, I want Shannon to tell us what she has been reading and some of the best things to recommend. If you want to. You would like to do one too?
I'm sure. So first, the joke in our family is that there's two hobbies. There's reading books and there's buying books. In both. And so Jerry will tell you he had to just buy me more bookcases because I ran out of room. So I had stacks everywhere, and he was like, "This feels not safe."
You're not the only one.
I do love to read. I've always loved to read. I read voraciously. I read multi-books at a time. I just recently, well, not recently, but probably in the last 20 years, started reading nonfiction. It used to be just my grandmother would send me all her historical romance fiction books when I was a kid. And so that's what got me kind of into reading. And then I've obviously evolved, but I still love a good, smutty romance though. No lie. I like those peppers. So for fiction, oh gosh, so hard. I think my favorite book of the year for fiction, or my favorite book I've read in the last, and this is, I curated a list for the last few years because I have a terrible memory. So I had to go back and look through my, my book tracking app to see what I rated 5 stars. And I think probably my very favorite recently is going to be The House in the Cerulean Sea. I love that book. It's a duology. So the first one, you don't have to read both of them. You can just read the first one, but it's by T.J. Klune. And it's an amazing book. It's so sweet. It has beautiful world building. The character building is phenomenal. It felt timely. It was a book that made me feel really good and happy and hopeful for humanity. And who doesn't need that right now? So I love that book. That's probably one of my favorite fiction books. I loved.
The name again, Shannon?
It's called
House or
The House in the Cerulean Sea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clune.
T.J. Klune. Yes. It does in a very G-rated way, deal with the same-sex couple. So just if that's not your jam, not here. I'm not judging. We don't judge in book space, but I know some people might not like that storyline, but I thought it was beautiful. It was a love story. It's also a book about children with different abilities, sort of like X-Men think like they have these supernatural abilities, but they've been sort of ostracized and discriminated against in the world, and laws have been introduced to really keep them in these orphanages and keep them from being their true selves. So there's a lot of lessons in there, I'm sure. If you like science fiction or fantasy, I loved Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. Again, beautiful world building, really nice story. I love that one a lot too. I'm trying to hit all the different. If you like Kristen Hanna, The Four Winds was really good. It was about the Dust Bowl. That was a really good one. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig is another one of my favorites. If you want spicy, I would read Fourth Wing. I made Jerry read it. So don't think he's innocent. He's not.
Okay, now that's the Rebecca Yarros.
Yes.
The
The dragon.
science fiction,
Yeah,
right?
fantasy.
And she's taken over the bestseller list.
Yes.
She's really popular.
It's very spicy.
Oh.
So yeah, very, very spicy. Yes. The fourth wing.
I have.
Wait. Oh. Fourth wing.
And, but I wanted to say, is that something we can talk about in church?
Why not?
I know.
I mean, in the biblical sense, they knew each other really well.
Exactly.
So I like it. I love Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver.
Yes.
I love a good feminist read. So Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis was really good.
That was a
The
good
Net.
TV series.
Yes.
See that TV?
No, I haven't seen it
Very
yet. Oh, good. I'll have to watch it. Hamnet, that's also a movie out. Very sad, but very good book
Yes.
about Shakespeare. And then I think my all-time favorite book was called The Red Tent by
Yes.
Anita. Yes, so I love that one. Anita Diamant, I'm not gonna say her name right, but it came out in the 90s, but it was such a good book. It's kind of a retelling of, gosh, I'm drawing a blank on her name. Somebody help me. No,
sir,
Dinah, the sister of the 12 brothers. No, the sister that was raped and then they cut off all the foreskins and then
Yeah,
and then they all died. Dinah, I don't remember. Anyway, it's really good. Oh, see, my memory, listen, it was the 90s. That's been forever.
It's from Denver.
Okay. So that's just a few of my favorite, and I can send this you my list if you wanna publish it, but. And then nonfiction, my favorite nonfiction, and I tell everyone to read this book. It is about President Garfield. I think a hero. Like I fell in love with Garfield after reading this book and anything by this author. Her name's Candace Millard. And she wrote a book called Destiny of the Republic, a tale of madness, medicine, and the murder of a president. And it is about Garfield, and I recommend it to everyone. I loved it. She also wrote a book called River of the Gods, Genius, Courage, and Betrayal in the Search for the Source of the Nile. Also very, very good. But if you're squeamish, there's a lot of like earbugs and like awful. I was convinced that I had there were bugs crawling in my ear and like it was, yeah. I love anything by John Green. So he wrote Everything is Tuberculosis, which is an amazing book. And he also wrote, what was the other one I read? The Anthropocene Reviewed, also very good. If you're looking for more of a theological book, Art and Faith, A Theology of Making by Makoto Fujimura. It's really a beautiful book and it's about pottery. And I don't know, the way he weaves theology through it. I recommended it to Jerry and it became one of Jerry's favorite books. I think he's quoted it before, but it's really good. And then my other all-time favorite is The Only Plane in the Sky, An Oral History of 9/11 by Garrett M. Graff. It is the best book on 9/11 I have ever read. It's really good. It's like it's written like in a series of like interview style, so it reads really quickly. But it runs the gamut, like from firefighters to just normal people to Muslims in America to like it's really, really good. I would recommend it. I think it's one of the best 9/11 books I've ever read. And any biography by Walter Isaacson, I will read. His new one if you really want to understand Elon, and I don't know, I don't know that anyone does, but I will say it gave me a lot of insight, and kind of helped me understand him better. Not like him, but and Walter says in the beginning, he says, if you came in reading this book and you hated Elon, you're still gonna hate him. If you came in liking him, you're still gonna like him. So I think it doesn't change your mind about him, I don't think, but I think learning about his upbringing, it just gave a lot of insight into why he is the way he is.
What's the name of that again?
It's Walter Isaac, it's Elon Musk. That's, yeah, by Walter, but he also did one on Steve Jobs, he did one on, Leonardo, no, what's it, Da Vinci, yeah, no, Da Vinci, I think. He's done a lot, he did one on women in STEM, which was really good. And how the whole vaccination for COVID came about and how long that really took and about CRISPR and all the women that were involved in that project. So he does great work, but yeah, that's just a few. I mean, there's a lot. I could go on forever.
Well, we don't have forever.
I know.
But how do you read, Shannon? Do you like print? Do you like Kindle? Audiobooks? What's your preference?
I have all of the above. I've been trying to level up by listening to audiobooks, but I could do podcasts, but I can't do an audiobook. I just find that in a podcast, your mind can wander and maybe you don't miss anything. But in a book, I tried to read, I don't know, Dungeon Crawler Carl. which is a fun book. Like I would recommend it. It's really fun. It's about this guy and his cat, and the cat talks. And it's the end of the world, and it's really cute. I tried to listen to it, and I can't get into it. I think audiobooks are great for some people, and I do think it counts as reading. I know that's a big, could be a big argument in this space, but I think listening absolutely counts. It's just not for me. I have a Kindle, but right now I've kind of been and I think since COVID, I've really been into print. Like I like a physical book.
Me too. Yeah.
Audiobooks, I read a lot of audio because I can't read enough hours with it anymore. My eyes get too tired.
I
I like to get the book too, so that if my mind wanders, I can take the book and.
That's a good idea.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Some people do both, buy both.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shannon, can you explain how you compartmentalize reading more than one book at a time?
Yeah.
It feels like a muscle. I didn't used to be able to. I was a one book at a time reader, and then I realized I'm aging really faster than I can read, and I'm not. How am I going to have time to read all the things I want to read? And so I started with just I'd read like a nonfiction and then a fiction, and then now it depends. Like in the summer, I might have 10 books going at once. So I'll use different genres, different fiction, nonfiction is usually split 50-50. So I don't know. And I find weirdly, I tell people this, that my books start talking to each other. So it's like, I'm not trying to be thematic, but then it feels like, oh, this is working. So I really like it. But right now I am juggling like 10 books.
Wow.
Do you make notes in your books?
Oh, no, I don't write. No, I'm a no book writer, and I would never dog ear.
Okay.
No, please.
Okay.
That would be a crime. That's a crime against books. I use bookmarks. I don't write in my books. I have in the Kindle if I really want to take notes. So Jerry has a book club, so I'm reading. What's the name of that book? I always forget it. It's really good, but it's a long title. It says, "One day everyone will have always been against this," and it's really good. He's really making you dig deep into how you're culpable in systems that hurt people. And he specifically focuses obviously on Palestine and Israel. He is a Muslim man from I forget where, but it's really good. And so for that book, because I have to be in this book club and I have to have somewhat educated opinions for Jerry, I do take notes. I do take notes on that one.
In fact, it's a new book club that Jerry and another pastor have started, and there's only about 7 or 8 of us in it on Zoom. And so I will send out to the class. We would love for you all to Zoom in to
It's a short book
discuss
too.
these books.
Read.
Yeah.
So, but it's
Very
heavy.
Gene, go ahead.
What's the case for reading books?
The case for reading books.
There are all kinds of ways you can sample reality. But what case would you make? Why isn't it important to read books?
I think so. When I was a kid, I was only good at one thing, and that was reading books. I was sort of good at writing, but I was not so great at school, and I was introverted and shy, so I didn't have a lot of friends. So books were my friends. And I thought I wanted to major in English. But then what I realized is the reason I like books is because of what it teaches me about other cultures, other people, the human experience, the way that it helps you develop empathy. And it just didn't just build knowledge, but and I thought, oh, I'm more of an anthropologist. Cultural anthropology is what I ended up majoring in, because I do care about human nature, the human experience. And I think books, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, I would argue that they both do the same thing. They teach you about what it means to be human in the world. And it's the only way that I can think of that I can have a different experience that is not available to me as a white middle-class woman in America.
Can't you get that through Netflix?
No, listen, I will tell you that you can learn a lot of things through reality TV. I'm a huge reality TV watcher, so I just say do both. Why do you have to pick one? Both and.
Norley.
I have 2 questions for you. I know that you review books, so I'd like to hear about that. And also, I'd like to know if you sense there's a different perspective from men if gender has anything to do with what you choose to read.
Okay, yes. So I don't review books anymore. I used to. I've really cut back on my social media presence. I'm just not online anymore. I found it to be too distracting. I will occasionally allow myself a half an hour on TikTok, but I mostly just watch dances. And I love that monkey video with, you know, the one where he has the stuffy?
Oh, yeah.
His name's Punch. And yes, oh my God, love those. But other than that, I have pretty much deleted all my social media. I only have an Instagram. I call it a Finsta. It's my fake Insta because I'm in a couple book clubs online. So I have to, that's the only way I can get the content. So, but no, so I don't do it anymore, but I used to love to do it. I just don't have the time now to really do it anymore. And, then as far as, I'm sorry, what was the other question? I already forgot. Gender. Yes. So I used to, I would look at like bestseller lists and then I started to realize how really corporate it is. And it's who has the money. It's like pay to play. And so I'm like, I need to diversify my portfolio. So I started going to like, independently owned bookstores. I started curating other lists from a variety of different people. I started really diversifying and not just reading only white men or white women, but a variety of voices and experiences. I really worked hard over the last, I would say, 10 years to diversify my reading so that I'm reading from all different. And I used to belong to a really good book club. It was an online book club that was developed during COVID. And he would send books from different places in the world that were published, but were available in English. And so I read a lot of really good books that way. But after COVID, it tanked. He didn't make enough money to make it profitable. So it went away, but that exposed me to a lot of books like from Japan or Africa or wherever. So yeah, I think it's important to diversify and not just go off the bestseller list.
I heard a neuroscientist say not too long ago that it's important to read occasionally a book of fiction because the fiction causes one to use centers of the brain that you wouldn't use otherwise if you didn't use your imagination. It's like old radio. So actually, there's a neuroscience benefit for reading fiction, and that was a new one for me, but just to add to the.
Yes, no, I 1000% agree. I always say that when people say I don't have time for fiction or I want to learn things. I'm like, well, you can't. There's nothing that teaches you better about human nature than fiction. And it really can, yes.
Do you work outside the house or do you raising your children and reading?
I do. Well, my children are grown, thank God, although they still need raising, apparently. No one tells you about that. No one tells you once they graduate, they still need you. I thought it would be smooth sailing, but no, that's not the case. I do work. I'm a special education teacher. So yeah. So I do work and that's why people say, well, I have the same amount of hours in my day as like Beyonce and look at all she accomplishes. So I feel like I can make time to read a book.
A related question, reading as voraciously as you do, are you a speed reader?
Yes. I would say that I read quickly. I don't read like a word at a time. I read whole sentences. It's why my memory, that's the only bad thing. So Jerry and I, we try to do these book reads together. It never works because he's slow. So I finish it, and then by the time he finishes it, and he's like wanting to talk about it, I'm like, I don't even remember that. Like what happened? And so we can't read books together. But I am getting him to branch out and read more fiction. Because he reads a lot of doorstopper books, very boring. Theological tomes.
I've got a funny story about a book. I picked up a book at the dollar store I like to shop at. And this book I got from Vicky was called The Book Club of Troublesome Women. I don't know if anybody else, and it's a funny story.
Yeah.
You read it too?
Yeah.
You're gonna read it in your book club here at church? Oh, good. And it's, no, I won't, but I just started and tried to read it myself, talking about gender differences. And so it's written by a lady and it's in the New England, she puts together a book club. But it started off and then went from there about every lady, what she was wearing, what she was eating and preparing for food, And it was just such a women-centric book. It was too much for me to get into it. As a, too much,
Tail.
clothes and food. So there are gender differences. Sometimes guys, any other guys do that, look at a book and go, oh, it's written by women, maybe it's not gonna be for me. Gender differences. You too, Gene?
Well, you can't always tell who the
Yeah.
author is.
Right?
Yeah.
Could be a-
I've heard writers say this, that they will use a female name
Yeah.
and write books and marketing for the.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa, yes,
Yes,
that's right. Yes, go ahead. I think.
I'm in two book clubs, and one is in our neighborhood, and one is, I'm in two book clubs in our neighborhood, and one basically does, it's male and female, there's several men in the group, and so it's several couples and stuff. And we tend to do more nonfiction in that. And it makes a big difference in what we're reading. And then the other one is a neighborhood one with 9 ladies, and we read more chick flicks or bestsellers like Theo of Golden and the Correspondent and stuff we've read there. So I think there's a big difference between the men and the women.
Different focus for different book
But it
clubs.
also makes me read books that I probably would never have read. In order to, read things that the men have recommended and stuff.
Awesome.
Not get it, let's not get it twisted. Women's romance books drive the industry. Like that's where all the money is. So, that helps, that's where all the money is spent, is romance. So I hate when people say, oh, romance is not a real genre. It's not real books. Like it 1,000% is and drives the economy, I would say.
Let me read just a quick thing on the state of, okay, I'll come back to you. From New York Times on the state of the book business in 2025. It said, just a quick summary is that book sales are very solid and bookstores are generally flourishing. But AI has disrupted online search results and flooded Amazon with poorly written copycat books and slapdash genre fiction, making it harder for books written by humans to stand out from the slop. Have you read AI books?
No.
Okay, well, I haven't, I wasn't really aware of that.
But book talk, they call it book talk. That's what it runs like. These people come out and they're like, oh, it's the best read ever. And it's hot garbage. I'm like, it's like, are we like, no, this isn't good. Like what makes a good book? So book talk, I think gives me that vibe, kind of that AI vibe.
Like the stories on Instagram.
Category.
Yeah.
They say print sales are mostly stable and people still want to read print. And right now it's only at 3 million books sold, less than at the pandemic peak in 2021 when lots more people were reading because they were staying home. This year's biggest books were genre novels, the Rebecca Yarros series and the Correspondent, we talked about that. Sales of ebooks have shrunk a little bit, even after replacing mass market paper books. Audiobooks have performed about the same also, but over the last decade, they have essentially quadrupled. Audiobooks. So they're stable the last year, but have quadrupled over the last 10 years. And bookstores are doing good. Last year there were 422 new bookstores opened. And Barnes and Noble added 55 stores last year.
Wow.
Genre-specific bookstores are also striving, including a new bookstore in Denver, romance bookstore called the Spicy Librarian.
Been there. It's really cute.
Is it cute?
Yeah, it's Rhino. It's really cute. It's really cute. I loved it. I mean, yeah, but it's only romance. I got a Christmas romance there by B.K. Borison. It's sort of she falls in love with the ghost of Christmas past. It was really cute, very spicy, but cute. My daughter and I went, and she wanted the Heated Rivalry books. They did not have them at the time, but we went and visited it, and I would recommend. It's a cute little place, and that whole area is really cute. They have Drag Queen Sunday at the sports bar right next to it.
Okay.
I'm just branching out into all kinds of things.
Good for you.
How far into a book do you get before you decide if this is gonna be a good read, and do you ever quit?
Oh, yeah.
I do not DNF. I do not DNF a book. I'm a completionist, so once I start it, I have to finish it, even if I have to hate read it. I will hate read it, and then I will burn it. Yeah. I will. I can't not finish a book, so I always have to finish it, yeah. Which is weird because it's like, again, time is so short. I have finite resources and so it's like, why do I do this to myself? But I have to see it through.
Vicky and I have a friend who reads the last few pages of a book at the beginning.
No, can't do
She
that.
wants to know that she's not gonna waste her time and she'll like the ending, so she reads that first. Norley.
Shannon, maybe this is a loaded question, but I noticed that there is a book by Mark Feldmeyer on the table. And have you read any of Mark's books? There are 5.
Yes, I read the one about what was it called? The house divided. Yes. I did, my question to Mark in his book club when this came out, and I think we were new here, was you didn't tackle abortion. Why? And he said, well, I feel like that's a women's issue. And I'm like, okay, well, you're not Black and you tackled racism. So again, like, I want to know why you did it. And so I just, no, it's not something I'm going to pick up and read unless I have to for Jerry. Sorry. I'm just going to be honest.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We got 15 minutes left. Before we go, I want to ask folks their favorite books of all time that they want to recommend, or anything recently that you really have liked. So we'll get to that. Go ahead, Ron.
I'm just curious, how many here get the Denver Post Sunday paper? It does have every week 2 pages that list the top 10 fiction and nonfiction bestsellers, and they usually give a review of at least half a dozen books every week. From memory, The Anxious Generation, whom Christine presented not too long ago, remains one of the most persistent bestsellers in nonfiction. It stayed in the top 10 now for a year or more, and it's still hanging up there.
And that was about the damage iPhone are doing to children.
The author is interviews often on TV.
Okay. 1929 is a bestseller.
I'm reading that right now.
Couple books on the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald are doing well. Nobody's Girl is right up there. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff though. And in our bookshelf up there, we've got Robert Ripes coming up short. And we've just tossed Gavin Newsom's new book up there. I don't think anybody wants to look at that one.
I was astounded recently seeing that the cost of the Post is $4.50.
Yeah.
I remember the newspaper was 3 cents.
They were getting more expensive.
Yeah, even the daily digital Post is pretty expensive.
Who else wants to comment? Books. Okay, Colleen, go ahead.
I just have a question. I wonder how many powerful men, rich, powerful men have read Nobody's Girl. Just a question.
That's the Epstein victims.
Yes.
Yes.
You're probably in it.
Exactly.
Okay, let's take a minute. Go ahead first.
What do you do to thin your library? I'll just give you a clue. I've given my books to EcoCycle folder, and they actually have a book special from somebody who's understands what books should be kept.
Oh.
She gives her books to EcoCycle in folder.
Well, since I've done that, but they used to have somebody who's really like a pro on rare books and books that should be maintained and not recycled.
I send them to my daughter. So I keep a box, and when it gets full, we ship it, and then she shares them with, she has a group of friends that she shares them with. I think a book is better shared. I always wanted to have like a little library, like a little, those little mailbox thingies. I love to give away books. I've told my husband if I die, I have literally 7 bookshelves full of books I haven't read. Because I don't keep the ones that I've read unless they're religious, and my daughter won't read those. So so we keep those, or the ones that Jerry and I both read, or if I have, sometimes I'll buy a book that I already have. Sorry, that's embarrassing, but that's just facts. So if I end up with 2 copies, then I'll send that one to her and I'll keep one. And if we really like the series, I'll go buy it, or if I bought it on Kindle or audiobook, I'll go buy it. But yeah, right now I'm just giving them to her. But I've told my husband if I die, that just to open up the house and let people come shop for books. Give away all my books.
Well, the tattered cover, if you take your books in, they will compensate you for that because they put them on their shelf as a used book. And they just recently restarted that. For a while, they quit it, but now they restarted. And you get compensated if they think the books are something they want to put on their shelf.
Okay,
And then you can have a voucher to get some books there.
very good.
You can only.
Would you pass the microphone forward, please? Who's ever got the microphone forward? Thank you.
I got something, Steve.
Okay, let's get, thank you. Yeah, Norley, pass it forward to, yeah.
I've had good luck, giving my books to Coble Library
Oh.
for their used book sale.
Oh, okay.
And I've done that twice. I gave 350 books, so about 10 years ago. And
Yes.
when I moved a couple months ago, I gave another 150.
Wow, great,
Yeah, cool.
great, okay.
As
And
opposed to the 50-yard dumpster.
I'm glad, Shannon, that you mentioned I'm a fellow cultural anthropologist, so I'm delighted you mentioned that and mentioned about things about romance novels and this type of thing. I'm in a book club, my wife and I, and at times they assign a book to read, or a type of book to read. We usually get a genre assigned to us, not the exact title. And so one time they assigned romance novels. I said, I'm a fairly open kind of guy. I will not read a romance novel. Well, they said, well, too bad then, Arsdale, you're going to have to read it because that's the assignment. Now, in confession, at my own Methodist church, I loved it. So now I've confessed that I feel better. Now my second lighthearted story is this. I was working overseas 40 years ago in Indonesia, of all places, and I bumped into a lady who was traveling, and we just got to chat. And I said, "What's your?" She says, "Oh, I'm a novelist." She said, "I'm a romance novelist." And I said, "Oh, that's interesting. Tell me about it." She says, "I write." Am I the name right? Harlequin Press. She says, "I write for Harlequin Press." Now this is 40 years ago. She said, "I write 2 romance novels a year. I get paid $50,000 up front each time."
Wow.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And that was 40 years ago. Yeah. So that's all I know about romance novels.
No, those who can't write, read.
what did you like about the romance? As a man.
Well, they were, above board kind of relationships, not
Yeah.
below the table type relationships.
Like sexual tension,
I
them getting together.
prefer not
Did you have a
to
favorite trope?
favorite trope.
Enemies to lovers.
I think what I like is the cleverness of the characters back and forth, the men and women back and forth. Yeah.
Very well said.
Yep.
Okay, I want to take a minute and Judy, go ahead.
I'm in 3 book clubs currently.
Oh.
I'm in 3 book clubs currently, 2 here at St. Andrew, on Monday morning. How many of you are on the Monday one? And then we have Wednesday ones too, and they're always good. Really, really enjoy it. I'm an Audible person. I'll be willing to pay the $15 a month for my Audible subscription
if I could go to the library and find the book. First of all, Tom Hanks has to be reading the book to me. Somebody like that, the author, it has to be the narrator. And then I get the book and I don't follow it always, but if I want to look back and find something, I have the library book and I can return it, so I'm not buying the book, so. And the last thing, the question. Do you read, I enjoy reading for writing style. If they have, not the historical fiction is done. But the writing style is, if I have a good book like that, I buy the book and keep it. So I'm wondering if you have that interest. Anybody else?
Question? Yeah, go ahead, Chad.
Oh, yes, I mean,
Like
I
Writing style?
I do. I like magical realism. I like science fiction, fantasy. I do love historical fiction. I think I have a few on my list. I loved The Rose Code by Kay Quinn. Thought that was a good one. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna.
But I mean how they use the language, not the genre. How creative or critical the language is.
Yes, I mean, I'll read anything. I'm kind of I don't want to use foul language, but I'm kind of a book whore, so I'll read anything. There's nothing I'm not drawn by that particular thing. I'm usually drawn by, I curate my lists from people that I have followed for a long time or people that I know that recommend things.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's not a particular critical reading that I would do,
the
yeah.
vocabulary is different or.
Yeah, no.
What do you think about the idea of literary versus popular fiction? You know, and beach reads versus literary, high style,
Yeah.
excellent language use.
Yeah, I'm not a book snob. I think read what you want to read. Read what makes you happy. Read what fulfills you. I just think, I think people should read what they want to read and not feel, I don't believe in a guilty pleasure. I think books should be enjoyed. And so that's going to look different depending on who you are and what your interests are. So I just say read what makes you happy.
Yeah.
It's your private time to unwind. The world is crazy. It feels hard right now. So like, if you want to read the Bridgerton series, knock yourself out. If you want to read Elon Musk biography, that's like 800 pages, whatever floats your boat. I don't have any.
Have you read the Outlaw series?
I own it. Yeah. I own it. But I haven't read it yet. No, but it is on my bucket list of things to read. Yes.
Slayer, Outlander, oh my God.
Yes, I love a time travel.
Larry and then Gene.
Another case for reading books. As I listen to people here in the room, books connect people. I hadn't thought of it in those terms.
Say it again, Gene.
Books are connecting people in this room.
Yes.
I never thought of books in the so-called age of isolation, this, cetera, and so forth. Books do have that capability, correct? They're facilitated to connect people.
Yeah.
Another question maybe.
Oh, yes. Larry and then Carol.
Linda mentioned the Kobo used book sale. I do taxes for people through AARP Tax Aid down at the Parker Library. And right outside our room is a whole wall of new books that are evidently duplicates that they have received. So I saw a book that I thought I wanted to check out and read and took it up, and it would have been $2.40 for a duplicate new book. So check and see if your library has a wall of new books that are for sale, because they're a heck of a lot cheaper than going to a bookstore.
Okay.
I would sort of like to interrupt there. I used to work the book sale at Coble Library, and I have it for years, so I don't know if they're still doing this. But romance books were so popular that they finally decided to have just romance book sale. I don't know if they're still doing it, but they did it. It was very successful. So romance, Peter, is pretty good.
Pass the microphone over to Carol, please, or the middle. Yep. Oh, there she's got it. Okay, go ahead, Carol.
One, two, Coble.
Plug in for John Meacham. He wrote Abraham Lincoln. I felt like now some of it was fiction. But I felt like I really knew the inside of Abraham Lincoln. I mean, he does a wonderful job on that biography.
Yes, yes, okay. Okay, let's take a minute, pass the microphone over to Christine. Let's take a minute and share your all-time favorite books. Do you have a favorite? Mine would be Grapes of Wrath and Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. Love that book too. Anybody else want to share? What's your? And our Zoomers too, if you'd like to jump in, go right ahead too. Nobody wants to share? Christine, go ahead.
I'm an avid audiobook reader and I read all kinds, everything that you mentioned. But in the past 5 years, I've focused on reading about resistance, people in World War II, because to me, it's an inspiration. I try to get a hold of any people that we don't know in Norway and Sweden and even in Germany and France, people who gave their lives for an ideal during what happened in World War II. And I ask my question after I end the book is, would I be that brave? Would I stand up and risk my life because if you got caught, you'd be tortured or killed, and your family would too? Would I really, are my values that strong that I would give up my life for that? And so in mixed in with all the other books I read, I try to read as many books as I can about these people during that period from the 30s to the 40s that dedicated their lives to freedom.
About Helene?
Yes.
Code name Helene.
That's a good reading.
Yeah, it's called Code Name Helene, Helene.
I don't know if I have.
Oh, you gotta read it. We're reading it now in the book club.
Yeah.
From the forties, she was a resistance worker, of the French, and all the things she did, and she ran through.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There were a lot of women that really, in addition to men, that were very effective. And
Charge of getting all the equipment they needed, and very smart, brave.
Book is called.
She was she was from London originally.
No, I
and she went to France.
Another one, seven.
From
Australia.
Go back to Shannon, go ahead.
Oh, have you read The Light of Days?
Another good book that touches your heart. I just finished The Great Wall. We read that in the book club and it just touched my heart. Another one that touched my heart. I mean, I had tears reading both of these books. The other one is The Correspondent. It so touches your heart.
Okay, thank you, Colleen. Did you want to?
Oh, if you read The Light of Days. It's an untold story of women resistance fighters in Hitler's ghettos. It's a 2021 nonfiction book by Canadian writer Judy Battalion. It's really exceptional, very good. It tells women's stories and all the things that women did that have never been like, these are women's stories that aren't out there. Like I had never heard of them. I thought it was really fascinating. I love that book.
What's the name of it?
It's called The Light of Days.
Okay, we're about out of time. Last few comments. Yes, Jane.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a favorite book, but I did read Zero Fail by Carol Leonardi
Zero Fail.
Mhm.
Okay,
about the Secret Service.
Secret Service.
And it was very interesting because I always thought the Secret Service were very upright people. And always weren't, but it was a very good book to read, to get into both the presidents that they served and who they were and what that was all about. A very good book.
Thank you. Okay, we'll do that. Frank.
I'd like to recommend The Prince by Machiavelli. It's just a window on the world. Thank you.
Very timely. Yes. Gene.
John Updike, Run Rabbit Run.
Yes.
That's a classic too.
Mine
Okay.
too.
Okay, we are out of time. What a good discussion. That was fun. And thank you. Thank you, Shannon. Appreciate your time today. Okay. See you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.